Opposition to moves by the National Assembly to provide for conditional electronic transmission of election results is growing as the Senate and the House of Representatives prepare to harmonize their differences on the amendment of the Electoral Act. The former Deputy Senate President, Senator Ike Ekweremadu, is among those warning against the moves. Two top officials of the Afenifere, the Yoruba notable group, also insisted at the weekend that electronic transmission of results is the only way to stop fraud during elections, whereas the National Organizing Secretary of Afenifere, Agbagun Kole Omololu, said electronic transmission will eliminate election rigging or at least reduce it to the barest minimum. The group's National Publicity Secretary, Comrade Jare Ajayi, said that there had to be no cogent reason to controvert the position of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), which argued that electronic transmission of results in Nigeria is possible. On his part, the Secretary General of the Yoruba Council of Elders (YCE), Dr. Kunle Olajide, said any attempt to stop electronic transmission of election results will be a sort of fight against democracy which will not go well with Nigerians. The two chambers of the Nass had in July, while voting on the amendments to the Electoral Act, provided for conditional electronic transmission of election results by INEC, while the Senate empowered the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) to determine the use of the electronic transmission of election results. The House of Reps, on its part, gave INEC the discretion to decide where applicable to use manual or e-transmission of election results. The decision has been a subject of public debate, with many saying that by subjecting the transmission to the approval of the NCC, the lawmakers were hindering INEC's independence and transparency of polls. But INEC insisted it has the capacity to transmit election results electronically. This is absolutely unconstitutional. You cannot ask INEC to seek the approval of any other agency of government to transmit results electronically when actually INEC has power to impose duties on NCC to achieve electronic transmission of results. Okechukwu Ibeno, INEC's National Commissioner and Chairman of Electoral Operations and Logistics Committee, said, "I completely agree that in the context of underscoring the independence of the Commission, Section 160 of the Constitution has done everything it needs to do. What is left is for INEC to use the power it has under the Constitution to achieve its aim." Senate and the House of Representatives last week set up a 14-man committee, 7 lawmakers on each side, to harmonize the differences in the bill. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, while announcing the committee members, said it will be chaired by Honorable Akeem Adeyemi, APC Oyo, while Honorable James Falake, APC Lagos, Honorable Chris Aziogbo, PDP Anambra, Honorable Blessing Onu, APC Benue, Honorable Aisha Duku, APC Gombe, Honorable Ayime Idem, PDP Akwa Ibom, and Honorable Ahmad Abdullahi, APC Sokoto, are members. Senate President Ahmed Lawan, on his part, said the Senate Conference Committee will work with the House of Representatives counterparts in order to be on the same page on electronic transmission of poll results by INEC. According to Lawan, Senate leader Senator Yahya Abdullahi, APC Kebbi North, is the leader of them. Of the 7 members of the Senate Committee, only Urudoge voted yes for electronic transmission of election results. Ekunife was absent during the voting, whereas the other 5 members who are of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC voted no for electronic transmission of election results. But ahead of the harmonization of the Electoral Act amendment bill by the Nass Conference Committee, Ekweremadu, a former Deputy Senate President and People's Democratic Party (PDP) Senator representing Enugu West, insisted that the only way Nigeria could move forward in the national elections reform is to allow electronic transmission of election results. I'm hopeful that the National Assembly will adopt electronic voting and electronic transmission as part of the new Electoral Act. We are lobbying accordingly to convince our colleagues on the benefits of electronic management of our elections. It will reduce rigging and thuggery by 80%. Asked on the possibility of electronic transmission of results being manipulated, he said criminals can manipulate any system anywhere, but the margin of the credibility of elections will be high with electronic management. Thugs will be completely eliminated and results will come in real time. The major operational entities involved in the electoral process have come out to fault the stance of the lawmakers, insisting that the capacity for electronic transmission of results is not to be doubted. The Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) and the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) have at different times countered the legislators on the matter. It therefore breeds serious suspicion the intention of the lawmakers in trying to truncate the inclusion of electronic transmission in the electoral law. This makes of mischief an underhanded way to undermine the integrity of election in time to come. The received wisdom is that electronic transmission will eliminate rigging or at least reduce it to the barest minimum. It will be a practical demonstration of the forward movement of our electoral process, which we have tinkered with in the past 22 years. If we adopt electoral transmission of election results moving forward, we must not be unmindful of the fact that the 2019 presidential election results were indeed transmitted to the server of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). If server was expressively dismantled and thereafter denied when legal proceeding commenced in the aftermath of the election. We can recall that the repeated assaults on the Abuja headquarters of the African Independent Television (AIT) by security operatives at the height of that election. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) established a situation room at the location from where it filtered goings on and result from the polling booths in the country. This precedent is the evidence that Nigeria does have the capacity for electronic transmission of the election results. We must not forget as well that the situation rooms established by the PDP in Edo State during the 2020 governorship election made falsification of election results foul-proof. No one is forgetting the fact that blank spots are in places. But with the multiplicity of the mobile service providers in the country, we can reach our people in the hinterlands. It is time we get it right by embracing electronic and real-time transmission of results as it is done in advanced economies. We have the capacity and the resources to make it happen. Hence, it will be a coup against voters and the nation if the lawmakers succeed in this ignoble act.